In your headlines, the Turks and Caicos Islands becomes the first UK overseas territory in the Caribbean to join the UK's Marine Conservation Program, and a victim and witness support unit is being launched later this week. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your number one source for news, this is PTV News Watch for Tuesday, June 21, 2022. In today's top story, the Turks and Caicos Islands is the first UK overseas territory in the Caribbean to join the UK government flagship marine conservation program, Blue Belt. Here's more.
The announcement was made by Lord Goldsmith, Minister for Pacific and the Environment at the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office at a World Oceans Day event celebrating the work of the UK overseas territories within the Blue Belt program in the United Kingdom. Honourable Connolly, the Minister responsible for tourism and the environment, met with Lord Goldsmith during the day of activities and used the opportunity to make a presentation on the topic, Small Islands, Big Impacts. During the presentation, Minister Connolly thanked the UK government for the opportunity to highlight the work of her team in the environment management and conservation. The minister further addressed the challenges, the work related to climate change, legislative review, partnerships, and the way forward. During the Small Islands Big Impact presentation, Honourable Connolly said, quote, "This program will directly benefit the Turks and Caicos Islands, ensuring that marine protection brings lasting benefits to the marine environment and local communities for future generations. From this partnership, we will be purchasing a new catamaran vessel. The vessel will be used for conducting industry-leading research in our waters to help improve our knowledge and management of this precious resource." End quote. The Blue Belt program, as we gather, will work to protect our reefs as well as the wider marine environment of TCI, which faces the impacts of both global and local threats from climate change to illegal fishing. The minister added that the Turks and Caicos Islands prides itself on having 1/3 of the country set aside in protected areas, having the third largest barrier reef in the world. Minister Connolly was accompanied by Deputy Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Tourism, Mr. Ron Lee James, and Director of Environment and Coastal Resource, Mrs. Lormika Williams, who attended the UK Overseas Territory Baited Remote Underwater Video Network meeting on the 7th of June 2022 ahead of the World Oceans Day event. The meeting discussed the BRUVS program, which will be launched in the TCI in August. This work will be key in the continued work of the DCR on fishery stock assessments and reef health. Support from the Blue Belt includes work to monitor and conduct research into tackling coral disease, such as stony coral tissue loss disease that is impacting reefs across the Caribbean, the creation of a new marine protected area covering over half of the TCI's exclusive economic zone. This new MPA will act as a sanctuary for key species such as sharks and rays, protecting them from human activities. Work to prevent illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing. IUU fishing has been a challenge for the TCI government over the recent years, and Blue Belt will work to strengthen enforcement regimes through enhanced data analysis, informing more strategic patrols, and funding more capacity on island. Monitor, manage, and minimize the impact of human activities such as tourism and marine pollution across the TCI.
A victim and witness support unit is being launched later this week, and members of the public are invited to come out and hear how the new department will work for them.
It is a well-known fact that the police have, over the years, struggled to win the public's confidence and assistance in its crime-fighting efforts. This is due in no small part to the close-knit society that is the Turks and Caicos Islands. Community policing, while a laudable attempt to win over the community, is not enough. And for years, residents have called for more to be done to protect those who are inclined to help law enforcement, but are fearful of retribution. One effort that has been touted time and again has been witness protection. Much like in the United States, those who help law enforcement in its crime-fighting efforts are afforded protection against criminals they help put behind bars. It is no doubt with this in mind that the government is on the verge of launching a victim and witness protection unit through the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in collaboration with the Criminal Justice Stakeholders Group. This coming Friday, you, your family, and colleagues are all invited out to the Gustavus Lightbourne Sports Complex in Providenciales for the official launch of what will be known around the islands as the TCI Victims and Witness Support Unit. Leading the initiative is the Chief Justice, the Honorable Justice Mabel Agyemang, appointed in 2020, and under whose guidance the Criminal Justice Stakeholders Group was launched in 2021. Since that time, the group has shown a commitment to implementing a criminal justice delivery agenda that would do more to speed up the wheel of justice, protect and care for victims of crimes and their families, respect and safeguard the rights of offenders, and above all, secure public confidence in the administration of criminal justice in the Turks and Caicos Islands. In this regard, significant strides continue to be made, and one of the group's achievements to date is the successful collaborative effort that gave rise to the establishment of the Victims and Witness Support Unit. The June 24th launch, and by extension the unit, will serve to highlight why and how the interests and victims should be put first in or at the heart of our criminal justice delivery. Do all that is possible to regain trust and confidence of victims and witnesses in the criminal justice system, and educate and sensitize the public of its civic, moral, and legal obligation, not only to report crime, but also to assist in bringing the perpetrators to justice by testifying. Those who make up the Criminal Justice Stakeholders Group are the Honorable Justice Shiraz Aziz, the Attorney General, Director of Public Prosecutions, Commissioner of the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force, Director of the Department of Social Development, Superintendent of the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the Honorable Chief Magistrate, Registrar of the Supreme Court, Representative of the Turks and Caicos Islands Bar, and the Secretary. For PTV News Watch, I am Delana Als.
It's time for a quick break, but more news.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Using COVID-19 as a lesson, PAHO Director says solidarity will be key as we work together to re-engineer progress and return to an upward trajectory. Here's the latest.
The Pan American Health Organization Director Carissa F. Etienne recently called on countries to work together to raise manufacturing capacity and decrease the regional dependence on imports for medicines, vaccines, and other key health products as a major lesson from COVID-19. The director told member states at the opening of the 170th session of PAHO's Executive Committee, quote, "We are learning that as a region we must collectively embark on a sustainable and collaborative rather than competitive pathway to self-sufficiency," end quote. Dr. Etienne cited PAHO's revolving fund for vaccines as an exceptional expression of Pan-American solidarity for public health. Established in 1979, the fund has enabled countries in the region, regardless of economic status, to access quality and safe vaccines at a single price. Since the start of COVAX in 2021, it has delivered over 142 million vaccines to countries in the Americas. The PAHO director also called on countries to increase long-term investment in public health, both financial and human capital, to ensure universal health and improve the resilience of systems against future health threats. Dr. Etienne said, quote, "This pandemic has harshly exposed the deeply rooted fault lines of inequity and inequitable access to health that exist in our region." She continued, "Underinvestment will hamper the more agile, consolidated, and efficient response to the next pandemic, which we so earnestly desire." End quote. The 170th session of PAHO's Executive Committee is taking place, as Newswatch learns, from the 20th to the 24th of June. Discussions include the organization's budget, as well as policies to strengthen pandemic preparedness and most pressing health issues in the region. PAHO's governing bodies comprise the Pan American Sanitary Conference, the highest governing authority which meets every 5 years to determine general policies, the Directing Council, which meets annually in years when the conference does not meet, and the Executive Committee, which meets twice a year and acts as a working party of the conference or council. This year, a one-day forum will be convened after a closure of the Executive Committee, where PAHO director candidates will have the opportunity to present their vision for the organization to member states, participating states, and associate members. The election of the PAHO director will take place during the 30th Pan American Sanitary Conference in September 26 to the 30th, 2022. The elected person will take office on February 1st, 2023, and serve for an initial term of 5 years.
Up next is the weather forecast, but right now, a quick break.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast. Grand Turk on Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 83, low 80, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. South Caicos on Wednesday, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 83, low 79, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Wednesday, sunshine and mixed clouds, high 84, low 79, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key on Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 84, low 79, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on Providenciales Wednesday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 84, low 79, winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The sun will rise at 6:08 a.m. and set at 7:36 p.m. High tides 3:07 a.m., 3:47 p.m. Low tides 9:21 a.m., 10:07 p.m. And now your hurricane outlook. For the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future!
I am PTV.
I am PTV.
I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
So many interesting stories emerged this week. Here's another one that made this edition of The Real News.
The RSPB, a nature conservation charity based in the UK who have been on a mission to give nature a home since 1889, has partnered with the National Trust to celebrate an ongoing project. In this story's previous newscast, we learned that the two charities have been working together for over 20 years and that their celebration was due to the success of removing all feral cats from Pine Key.
So essentially in 2019, we held a project which we got contractors in from New Zealand who are world experts in these programs, and we worked out a protocol with the Department of Agriculture to basically remove all of the cats from the island chain and protect the native iguanas there.
Newswatch also learned the impact of the green iguanas and how they do not belong in the Turks and Caicos Islands. However, there have been a shocking number of sightings.
So green iguanas, there's loads of them in Florida. So obviously a key route is like bringing in plants from Florida, so from Miami. But the main thing that can be done here by the community in Turks and Caicos is if you see an iguana that doesn't look right, so bright green with bands on the tail, please make sure you report it. I don't have the number to hand, but please call DCR and just report the number.
Wainima, the executive director of the Turks and Caicos National Trust, revealed that green iguanas pose a big threat to our indigenous rock iguanas.
Some of the invasive species that would have been promoted or identified is, for example, the green iguana. The green iguana could crossbreed with our endemic rock iguana and cause an hybrid, and we don't know how that hybrid would function or settle within our wildlife system here in the TCI, specifically Little Water Key, Half Moon Bay area, where we have our iguana population, our rock iguana population. Another thing is invasive species can cause a shortage of food supply to these our rock iguanas. It could also cause a lack of vegetation for our iguanas as well to thrive on and survive on, which is very important to the sustainability of our rock iguanas here in Turks and Caicos Islands.
Williams, a director at the DECR, shared a few updates on the importance of the rock iguana in our ecosystems, also revealing her connection to this project.
Most remaining population of rock iguanas live on remote keys in the protected areas for which DECR is ultimately responsible. However, the iguanas and their habitat are threatened by invasive species, and the management of the invasive species is spread over the DECR, Department of Agriculture, Environmental Health Department, and the land management body of the Turks and Caicos National Trust.
Almost 3 decades of collaborative protected areas management focus on safeguarding the endemic Turks and Caicos Islands rock iguana has brought about the success of removing all feral cats from Pine Key and has brought attention to the areas which need more work.
I think this project shows that when we work together, great things can be accomplished. DECR continues to advocate for the use of locally sourced native species in landscaping and is dedicated to raising and addressing biosecurity concerns to new developments, current developments, and home landscaping projects. The DECR team will continue to support the efforts towards safeguarding the rock iguanas and their habitats. I am very proud of this project and the work done and the accomplishments that have been achieved, and I look forward to future partnerships between our friends in the rock iguana conservation.
Millet, who works with the UK Overseas Territory Biosecurity Project, believes that the project has made exceptional changes and has grown to now yield positive results. He also believes that it is up to the stakeholders here in the Turks and Caicos Islands for the success of this project to be a constant.
I think as an advisor to the UK government, or with the UK government, it's really, the future directions are really up to the stakeholders in the TCI. And what I can say is that there are a number of projects and mechanisms for support of sustainable environmental management, including biosecurity and non-native management. Non-native species management. and we will do our utmost to support the partners in the directions that they choose to take their environmental management.
The incident reportedly occurred on Little Water Key, also known as Iguana Island. The DECR would like to remind all tour operators and visitors to the island and residents that Little Water Key falls within the Princess Alexandra National Park, a protected area in accordance with the National Parks Ordinance, Ordinance 11 of 1975. As per Regulation 31C of the aforementioned ordinance, the following is prohibited within all national parks: the destruction of, or damage or injury to any plant or animal, and as per Regulation 13.2, a person contravening any other provision of these regulations that imposes a duty of compliance commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of $5,000 or a term of imprisonment or both. Newswatch learns that this incident is currently under investigation by the DECR. Although many people think feeding TCI's endemic rock iguana is harmless, studies have shown that the long-term effects on diet and behavior can be detrimental to their population as they consume non-native foods harmful to them and become increasingly aggressive towards people and other iguanas. Consuming food such as fruit, granola bars, or crisps will have a severely detrimental impact on the animal's digestive system and overall health. Feeding wildlife also compromises their ability to forage for their own food as they become dependent on humans for their food source. Simon Busuttil, biosecurity advisor for the TCI Iguana Partnership, said, quote, "Naturally, rock iguanas eat fruit, flowers, buds, and leaves from trees and bushes. They love sea grapes, but you can often see them ignoring hundreds of nice, ripe sea grapes on the ground. This is because if they eat food off the ground, they ingest the sand which is stuck to the fruit. They can't digest this, and it fills up their stomach until it kills them. Tour guides mean well, but they are slowly killing iguanas when they throw food onto the ground for iguanas." He continued, "Research has shown that increasingly tourists choose their vacation destination based on having a natural experience and knowing that their vacation is sustainable. Killing the iguanas through feeding is not sustainable, and visitors are increasingly understanding that feeding is not a good thing to do. Feeding the iguanas spoils their experience. It's not necessary." End quote. This, as we learn, will have a greater impact on the immediate ecosystem, as the rock iguana feces serves an important ecosystem service by dispersing seeds, thus supporting biodiversity of indigenous plants, insects, and other animals. Incidents in the Bahamas such as these have led to skewers used in feeding puncturing the side of the animal. This is a direct result of illegal iguana feeding. So what should you do if you see an iguana? Here is the iguana-friendly code of conduct. Do not feed the iguanas. Feeding can harm them. Follow the trails and signs on site and stay on pathways and boardwalks. Avoid walking on iguana burrows and crushing their eggs. Do not harass or chase the iguanas and keep noise to a minimum. The trust says that they know that stress causes them to live shorter lives. Keep your distance. They are wild animals which can bite and cause nasty infections. Reduce the risk of fire by not smoking or setting fires, which is illegal under the National Parks Ordinance. Take your trash away with you. Litter attracts rats, which destroy iguana eggs. No dogs or cats are allowed because they can kill iguanas. The DECR and the Turks and Caicos National Trust ask for help in protecting our unique fauna and flora. Follow Rocky the Iguana on Instagram for more information on how to protect our indigenous rock iguana, and report any sightings of the invasive green iguana via WhatsApp on 1649-344-8296.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptvatci.com.